was the first Virgin Islands to graduate from the Coast Guard Academy. Graduated in 1980, and this is like homecoming for me because actually when I graduated from the Academy in 1980, the cutter Eagle also came into port that year. So I was able to come out and actually ride her in to St. Thomas then too. So this is almost a repeat, and it's like homecoming again. So, yeah. We didn't get all the parents of the folks that graduated from the Coast Guard Academy, but what we did actually was we wanted to make it a Coast Guard family event. So we reached out to all the Coast Guard family that we knew or we had contact information for to invite them on this unique opportunity to ride the Eagle into port.
Yes. And basically last year we invited the Eagle for the Centennial events, and they were in the Coast Guard yards with getting repairs, midlife cycle repairs, and here they are today, right here in the Virgin Islands, and the community, we're welcoming them with the families that are present. There's also enlisted people in the Coast Guard as well that are going to be visiting the cutter later on today and over the weekend.
So people don't really realize how much of an impact we have had on the Coast Guard and the number of people that we actually have in the Coast Guard. Actually, we're looking at about 120 active duty folks in the Coast Guard. Over the 20 years that we've been doing this, mentoring high school students, shepherding them to both college and the academy, we have actually had about 20 officers that have graduated from the Coast Guard, and many of their parents and siblings are on board today with us.
This is a really fun job. You get to train with the future leaders of the Coast Guard, and you get to see them as they develop. So we typically will embark cadets for about 6 weeks, and we do 2 big groups of that. And over that course of 6 weeks, as you can imagine, they really grow in leadership and certainly competencies that they're going to use in the maritime environment, navigation, seamanship, damage control, etc. We want to really have an opportunity to engage with the folks. We know how resilient everybody's been after, obviously the storms rolled through about a year ago. It's been a tough time, so we want to come down and be part of that. Hopefully some of the recovery piece, and also, again, experience the warmth and hospitality down here, which I know I'm preaching to the choir, that everybody down here knows what that is, but a lot of people come from all over the Coast Guard and all over the country. We have some international students, so just showing them what the Caribbean and particularly Virgin Islands is like is really neat. Today we're going to be open from 1 to 3:30, free public tours. Tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, we'll be open from 10 to 7, that's general public. Especially, we're going to open an hour early those days, so 9 to 10 for all the first responders, the veterans, fellow members of the Coast Guard, folks like that, as a recognition of their service. So love to have you come down and see the ship. Again, they're free. Come down and meet the cadets, meet the crew, and see this magnificent ship.